Alrighty, hey guys, welcome back to another thread discussion video, and I have to actually be quiet. My son is sleeping right behind me, and if you guys don't know my situation, I have to, multitask a lot now. You guys can check out my situation on my Discord if you guys are interested, but apart from that, let's get right to it. I'm probably going to have to edit this a lot. He's probably going to wake up. I might get too loud, but I will try my best to keep it low, and it's not going to be too long of a video. We have one dev reply, but we do have some news on 1.5.10, which is 2 patches away, so I thought it was valuable to make a discussion video on this thread, right? Alright, so let's read it. So, and like always, I'm going to leave a link down below for you guys to check out if you want to, but let's do it. So, rare troops, all rare troops in Calradia, especially cataphracts, okay? So the person who made the thread states, rare troops are so rare now, we could recruit troops only in villages and towns. We should be able to recruit at castles too. And we only got a few rare troops, Empire Vigla, from powerful notables of villages who are so rare and cannot see at every village. My option is that rare troops could be recruited at castles. So I think what he means by rare troops is he means elite troops or noble troops. And there actually is a change that's coming, and I'm pretty sure that's what the devs are talking about. But pretty much when a noble reaches 200 power, they start having slots available of noble or rare troops in this fashion, right? And they are going to implement more changes where pretty much more of those nobles will have more slots of noble troops instead of actual just recruits. And also what we have in the game currently is villages that are connected to castles have a passive where the nobles in those villages that are bound to that castle, they gain a passive, what would you call it, a passive power increase, where every single day they get more powerful. And pretty much if you want noble troops, look at the villages that are connected to the castles. They will more likely have it than villages connected to the settlements, which is kind of like, it's not exactly what people want as in terms of like, being able to recruit at the castle, but it's the next best, it's pretty much the next best thing, right? So if you hover over a castle, you can see all the villages that are connected to it, visit those villages, and you should be able to find noble and elite or rare troops, as you call it. But all right, let's keep reading. Where were we? I mean, castles have notables like villages and towns and recruitable, but only for rare troops with a cost of 50 to 100 gold or 1 or 5 influence according to troop tiers. So this is a thing we did talk about like way early, like when the game just first came out, where I thought it would be a good idea for you to be able to recruit noble or elite troops with influence from the castle. I thought it would be a good idea. But with the current changes and how it's going, I think it's a good thing that they did, where they pretty much, gave that passive increase and also made it so, those villages that are connected to castles are going to become very, very powerful when it comes to recruiting new troops. And we are going to see that in the next upcoming patches. And I'm pretty sure the dev is going to talk about that. Where is it? I'm just reading through it. He's just talking about, for example, how much a recruit would cost in terms of influence to gold. He's pretty much stating that if a normal recruit would cost 100 gold, then what's it called? It would cost 1 influence, which I don't know if I completely agree with. It's a cool concept, but I don't think it's going to get into the game, to be honest with you. And then he states, I'm an Empire fan. Empire will be great with many cataphracts in our own army. For now, I don't have rare troops in my party and only get through prisoners. This shouldn't be like that. Castles should give us rare troops. They should be expensive, but not very rare like current situation of the game. Okay, so for your situation, since you like the Empire, the devs have talked about this, and they realize that the Empire, I said civilizations, Empire kingdoms, they lack the cavalry ratio that other kingdoms have. They have the worst cavalry ratio in the game because their main cavalry unit and their only cavalry unit is through noble and elite troops, while the other kingdoms can get cavalry units through the regular, recruit, the basic recruit troop tree, right? So that is another thing that the devs are looking at, and they do realize it's a problem, and that's kind of why they are going to, what's it called, make it so, well, it's not confirmed yet, but the devs have stated they are going to make it so whenever a noble or a headman, which is like pretty much a noble, whenever they reach 200 power, so instead of only like having a couple of slots at the end where they're going to be able to have noble or elite troops, it's actually going to be the whole row are going to be noble and elite troops. It's going to be no recruits, just noble and elite troops. And you should be able to find a lot of these, again, connected to castles because of that passive power gain. But alright, let's see what the dev has to say. Alrighty, so dev responds, notables giving these troops will increase in 1.5.10, pretty much 2 patches, in 2 patches. All rural notables at villages bounded by castle will give these notable troops. There it is. Currently, only rural notables and headmen with 200 plus power are giving them, but this will change. Interesting. Okay, so they're getting rid of the whole 200 plus power. They're pretty much saying that if they're bound to a castle, they will give noble troops. That's very interesting. Currently, about 20% of village notables are giving noble troops. This will be around 33% with the new rule. Interesting. Also, these notables can give noble troops from even first slots. Currently, there are mostly tier 1 common recruits at first slots. This is not guaranteed, but will be evaluated. See, that's the change I was talking about that might be in the game, right? But that is very interesting. So, you know, in a way, people are getting what they wanted. The noble troops aren't going to be in the castle, but what it looks like, all the nobles in villages that are connected to the castle are going to do only noble troops or elite troops, which is kind of crazy. I did not expect that change, but good to see. And then he states, I will suggest adding 1 notable to castles for giving noble troops, but it has less chance to be accepted anyway. Even if it is not accepted, these rare troops will be more common. Yeah, so I think at this point, it's like picking and choosing. I think I think this solution does solve the problem at hand of people wanting to recruit at castles. It's the next best thing. And to be honest, it's pretty much an equal thing where, you know, instead of being able to recruit at the castle, you can recruit at the villages that are connected to the castle. And if you really think about it, if we can only recruit at the castle, or if we can only recruit in the villages around it that are surrounding it, I think it's better for the villages because you have a bigger choice and a bigger amount of units that you can recruit. So I think this is a good change. We'll see, as he states, it's only going to go up 13%. I thought it would go up a little bit more, but yeah, you're going to see noble troops a lot more frequently, and I think this is might be an overall good change. It might change a little bit more after. We'll see. Obviously, it has to be play tested, see how people like it, see if it's too much, and then, you know, we'll see where it goes from there. But yeah, I did not expect this change. I expected this change because we did talk about it, but yeah, very, very cool. But all right, boys, that's going to do it for me. Obviously, I said I didn't want to keep this too long. And yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed. Ask me any questions, any concerns, and like always, stay safe.